G'day guys, welcome to another layout. Now I have pulled out what I have left of the Pinkfresh Studio Happy Blooms collection. I've got to be honest, this one was not my favourite. I've really struggled using the florals and stuff on this in this pack. I don't know, I think it's just because the colours aren't my usual colours and they're not very defined flowers and stuff. Like, they're very hand-drawn, cartoony. I think that's what the problem was. But I digress. I will endeavour to use what I have in my collection that I have spent hard-earned money on, and this is what I decided to do with it. Now, I pulled out a photo of Angela when she was in her little bouncy, I can't even remember what they call these things now, but this one was quite an old one. They're like a spring, and it's connected to the roof and they can just bounce around on it, and she absolutely loved it. Obviously supervised. This is not something you just connect your baby to and walk away. And yeah, so I had this photo, and because it was the same sort of blue as was in these flowers, I thought maybe I could pull this off. Now, I thought about the fact that because this collection, its outline is done in a grey. So I sat and went over the grey lines with a black pen, and I sort of started to like it a little bit more. So it allowed me to sort of keep moving forward with it. Now, I also am using a product that is new to me, which is the DINA Gloss Spray. It's a glossy acrylic spray, and I'm having fun sort of figuring out, like, you could quite easily just use white paint here just to create a little patch that is muted out, you know, with a bit of white or a bit of gesso. Any of those things would work, but I had the white gloss spray there, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to use it and see what it looks like. When I bought the gloss spray, I actually had it with the intention of using it for white splatters. That's kind of where my brain was going with it. It's gloss, it's shiny, it's slick. Nothing will really take on top of it. Well, never say nothing. I'll find something, I'm sure. But, yeah, so I just created myself a little bit of white space on the pattern background. And then I decided to have a bit of a play with these flowers that I've cut out. Like, how do I want this to go? And I'm sort of having a bit of a play. I actually don't mind how that looks. I do move things around a little bit, and then I didn't want it to be cliche, you know, flowers around a photo. I wanted to sort of, okay, as much as these flowers are not really up your alley, let's see what we can do with them to make it work. Now, this is where I was just playing around with them. See how the flower at the top just has the grey, and see the ones at the bottom with the black pen? It's personal preference. I felt like if I had black edges on it, then, or black line, I just thought it sort of screams more me. So, and it allowed me to be able to get my hands in and use this particular paper, and that's what I'm going to be doing over September. I did mention it in the last video that during the month of September, I'm not purchasing any more papers. So, sorry, I just had an email pop up. I've got so many, and I feel like I need to use some of the papers because I know I do a lot of mixed media just on a white background, and I've got a lot of papers that I just want to get my hands into so they're not just sitting there unused. And I'm sure we all have the same. Taylor made me a coffee, FYI. And she's a good egg. And yeah, I just want to sort of get in and do that. And then I will make purchases for the month of October and have a few new bits and pieces sort of arriving in October, November. That's what I'm hoping to do, and I think that will work. Now, the pen I'm going over this with is my Uniball Gel Impact 1mm black pen. I love this pen. It's so smooth. It just glides. It is awesome. And being the 1mm, it is about the same width as the grey line. So it worked really, really well for me. I also have this one in white and in gold, and the white one's pigment ink and the gold is pigment ink, but they're the same size. So I absolutely love these. I'm just adding a little bit of extra definition. Now I did tear the top and the bottom, and I did use my mini stapler, and it's got number 10 size staples in it. So that little stapler is the same size as the Tim Holtz tiny attacher, and it's just cheaper. It just cost me a lot less money and it works exactly the same. It's a stapler. So I like adding that little bit of metal when I can, and as long as it's not near the photo, as long as it's there, but it's, do you know what I'm saying? So because I backed this onto a white cardstock, the staples were not touching the photo, nor will they be touching photos from the other side when I back another layout behind this one. So let me see where I'm going. I decided that I was going to put a cluster down the bottom, a cluster at the top, and then I'm just going to add some photos, add just some around the photos and create more of a diagonal look. I thought these flowers kind of went more that way. They lent themselves to being spread out this way, and it felt more organic. And I'm not a big one for using terms like that, organic. Like, I feel like such a twat saying that. But sometimes the natural flow of how flowers get put down makes the difference on a layout. If you're trying to force larger flowers into a smaller cluster, it just doesn't always work. So I am going around and I am lifting up some of these leaves and folding them so they have a little bit of definition, but I'm trying not to make this one too thick. This is one of my layouts this week. I've got 2 layouts this week that I'm doing that are quite flat layouts, and that is something else that I'm trying to incorporate into my layouts and my videos. Just chucking that little reminder in there not to make every layout chunky, because your albums will fill up with 12 layouts. So it's just silly. So, I mean, it's great and it's gorgeous, and I love doing lots of definition if it's going to be a layout that I'm going to put up on my wall. And I quite often do that. I've got a big grid up on my wall. How many do I have? 6, 12. I've got 18 layouts that I keep, and I rotate them up on my wall, and they just keep the space fresh and keeps me thinking about my current style and the things that I like to look at, and it brightens up my space. I love it. So what else can I tell you? This layout's going up on Thursday this weekend. Did everyone who caught up with the live, this is something I wanted to say. So if you caught up with the live last Friday, thank you so much for dropping by, those of you that had time. If not, if you've rewatched it or whatever, thank you so much. I seriously appreciate that. I did end up doing and I put it up on, let me think, Tuesday. So if you watched the live and you wanted to see the layout that I finished off, it is actually number 539. So it'll be, you can find it in the August playlist, and it is number 539. I'm numbering all my layouts now so that it makes it easier for me to reference them and it makes it easier for you to find them. I'm doing a generic title on all of the beginning part of my title on all my videos. So you see the number, and then you see the scrapbook, blah, blah, blah. And then the next title is the actual title that I put on the layout. So some people prefer to find things that way, but I'm just letting you know that that's where I'm going. I am endeavoring to go back through the last 12 months and number those ones as well. And as I slowly do that, you'll probably notice that I've been in there and had a bit of a play around and move things around a little bit. And that way you can be able to find things easier. I never really thought, to be completely honest with you guys, I never really thought I'd have over 500 videos. And in such a short space of time, I don't know why I didn't think that, but I know that I want to give 110% and give you guys inspiration daily almost, at least 6 days a week anyway. And I never really anticipated the fact that I would have 500 and this one's 541. So I didn't really think about how you would be able to go back through the catalogue to find a specific video. I have all the videos written down, all the information on each and every video. I have a hard copy of that, and that will allow me to go back and number all the videos. It just takes a lot of time. So when I'm having a kick back and just chill out, that's when I do that instead of creating content. I'm fixing up content. So yeah, let me know if that is something that you appreciate. Also, let me know below. I am, like I said, with the September, I'm not actually buying any. I do have some newer collections that I'll be able to tap into. But I want to try and get everybody thinking about their stash, is what you guys call it. I call it a collection. I really want to get into my collection and really start using some different bits and pieces. And I'm going to give you a few tips and tricks and hints to figure all this sort of thing out and get in there and use it. What else? I was going to tell you something else in this video and I cannot remember. I'm finding myself, I feel like I'm stumbling over my words because there was something really important I wanted to mention and I cannot remember it. Oh, I've got less than 3 minutes to remember it. Okay. Now, I did enjoy this particular, these are the thickers, the Happy Life thickers. So when you buy if you can still get your hands on them anywhere, the thickers Happy Life, they're the Paige Evans ones. They come with white on one side and this bluey mauve, bluey purple colour. And I figured these would be the perfect colours to put a nice long title on here. I think I should have moved Angela across a little bit further so it sort of went on that angle, but I can always go back and fix that up. It's all good. Now I'm just tucking those in behind there. Now let me know what you think. Do you think this sort of worked out in the end? I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell you guys 100%. This took me an entire day. There you go. Mic drop moment. This layout that looks so simple took me, by the time I fussy cut everything and then went over the lines, it then took about an hour for me to pull it all together and do the titles and all that sort of bizzo. But let me tell you, I lost the entire day. I'll tell you why I lost the entire day though. I was watching, and you know, I say this to you all the time, if I need to put on music, not a video, and I was watching 1883, I think that's what it's called, which is the prequel to Yellowstone. And I am not gonna lie, legit. So my husband and I watched 5 episodes on the weekend, and I decided yesterday that I was going to watch the rest. Well, I was an absolute blubbering mess by the end of it. I could not. If you've watched it, please let me know. Did you cry at the end? Like, seriously. I'm not going to give it away in case people haven't watched it, but if you love Yellowstone, you will love this one. It's definitely, it makes so much sense, and there's like so much carnage in it, but yeah, it was definitely one of those ones. It got me. I'm not a big crier, So yeah, it got me. So here it is, guys. There it is, up close and personal. I did add a little bit of liquid pearls on there. I added onyx pearl and platinum pearl. That's all I added to the flowers. I kept it super, super simple. And the best bit for me is this my favorite layout of all time? No, but I used my collection. Thanks for watching, guys. Chat to you soon. Bye for now.